Alright, back to another album review. Today's review is on In Your Honor from Foo Fighters. It's the 5th studio album from Foo Fighters. Now, after touring with the previous album, One by One, Dave Grohl didn't know what to do with Foo Fighters because he didn't want to rush into production with a new album. I should mention is that this is actually a double album, meaning it has 2 discs. The first disc has the heavier songs that are centered around hard rock, alternative rock, and post-grunge. Disc 2 has the mellower songs, which are centered around acoustic rock. And what's interesting to know is that these acoustic songs were actually considered for a film score. Dave was initially against doing a fully acoustic album because he wanted to do heavier music. Essentially, this is how the album ended up becoming a double album with the louder music on the first disc and the softer music on the second disc. Because the acoustic songs actually took about 2.5 weeks to record. And it's actually pretty interesting the way I see it. The reason why Foo Fighters did this because Dave Grohl wanted to do a more diverse blend of songs because the band had to break new ground with their music after being around for 10 years at that point. This album was recorded at the then newly built Studio 606 West in Northridge, Los Angeles between January and March 2005. It was released on June 14th, 2005 under RCA Records and Roswell Records. This album was also self-produced with the help of our good friend, Nick Reskolinix. One thing I should mention is that the lyrics on this album contain introspective and resonating themes. Some of this was influenced by Dave Grohl's involvement with John Kerry's presidential campaign trailer in 2004. And then again, Rise Against also endorsed John Kerry in 2004, but that's a different story. It's also the first Foo Fighters album to feature keyboardist Rami Jaffee, though he didn't become an official member of the band until 2017. This album came out with its price at just $1 above a regular CD, which comes as no surprise since this is a double album. I read that the first 25,000 copies came in the special edition dual disc that contained a documentary that was the making of the first disc. In order to promote this album, Foo Fighters went on a tour known as the In Your Honor Tour, which lasted between summer of 2005 and June of 2006. They also toured with Weezer in late 2005. Pat Smear was with Foo Fighters as a touring guitarist at that time, though he didn't become a full member until 2010. And now to talk about the songs. This album starts with the appropriately named In Your Honor, which obviously shares the same name as the album. I personally think this is a good way to start the album. The next song is No Way Back, which was released as a single on March 13th, 2006. The single is considered a double A-side since there's a second song called Cold Day in the Sun, which is also on disc 2 of this album. I should mention that Cold Day in the Sun features drummer Taylor Dawkins on lead vocals while Dave Grohl is on drums. Taylor actually wrote the song in 2001. It also features Nick Reskolinix on double bass. No Way Back also received a music video that contains footage of the band on tour in Europe. I'll post a link in the description. After that is Best of You, which was released as a single on May 30th, 2005, about 2 weeks before the album was released. The song was one of the first songs composed for this album, and Dave Grohl wrote the song in his garage after being involved with John Kerry's presidential campaign trail in 2004. The song received a music video that was directed by Mark Pellington, the same guy who directed the video for Jeremy by Pearl Jam. And I'm going to post a link to the video in the description. It's also what many people consider to be the best song on this album. Next song is DOA, which was released as a single on September 5th, 2005. The title refers to the medical term dead on arrival. There's also a music video that's directed by Michael Palmieri. There's going to be a link to the video in the description. Hell, The Last Song, and Free Me are memorable songs that come after that. Resolve is what comes next, and this song was released as a single on November 21st, 2005. The song later got a music video that was directed by Michael Palmieri. Who also directed the video for DOA. Posting a link to that video in the description as well. Last two songs on disc 1 are Deepest Blues and The Deepest Blues Are Black and End Over End. I need to mention that the UK, Japanese, and vinyl version of this album have a bonus track called The Sign. And as you can see, that song is not on this version of the album. Now, disc 2 starts with Still, which is followed by What If I Do. Now, the next song is Miracle, which was released as a promo single on September 18th, 2006. So this is a great song, and it features John Paul Jones on piano and Petra Hayden on violin. Now, the round comes next, which features Danny Clinch on harmonica and John Paul Jones on mandolin. Yeah, it's followed up by Friend of a Friend. I should mention that a much earlier version of the song was written in 1990 after Dave Grohl joined Nirvana. What's interesting to know is that Dave wrote the song about his initial impressions of Kurt Cobain and Chris Novoselic. He also performed the song entirely by himself. Over and Out comes next, and this is a pretty memorable song. On the Mend is what comes after that. It features Nick Raskulinecz on double bass. The next song is Virginia Moon, which features Joe Beebe on guitar and Nora Jones on vocals and piano. Cold Day in the Sun follows after that. I already talked about the song when I talked about No Way Back, so I don't really need to go further into this song. This album ends with Razor. We're online that this album was met with mostly mixed to positive reviews, but I think it's way better than the critics make it out to be. This album debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200. Later went off to sell over 1,442,000 copies in North America, which later resulted in it being certified platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America. It's also the third most successful Foo Fighters album, just behind the band's first 2 albums. This album was also nominated for 5 Grammy Awards. Unfortunately, it didn't win. Now, personally, I think this album is even better than the previous work from Foo Fighters, and I strongly recommend it. And that's all I have to say on this album. If you like the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to hit the notification bell to notify future uploads. And also follow me on social media, and there's links in the description. And leave a comment if you like. Thanks for watching, I'll be back soon with another review.